Al, welcome back.
Thank you.
How does it feel to be here? Does it feel kind of right back in the groove, or is it some readjusting to be back on a UFC fight week?
No, right back in the groove. Feels good. Yeah, the only difference is the Venom fight gear. I like it. Yeah, it's other than that, it's the same kind of fight week. Right back where we left off.
Yeah. So can you clear the air on I guess coming on this card? I know you had said maybe originally you weren't sure if you'd be ready to fight on this event, and then obviously ultimately you're here. So what was the process in getting you back in the cage?
I had a surgery. It was during COVID. I don't know, maybe a year and a half ago, and took a lot longer than the doctors had anticipated me to recover. So I didn't know what was going on. Nobody knew what was going on, why I was feeling the way I was feeling. But I just pushed through it. It was tough, but I every day just kept going. Started to feel good. I train people, like in the neighborhood, and started just like moving around with some guys a little bit. Like for a while, I would just train them and kind of sit there and be depressed that they were training, and I was, pushing them and stuff. But then I started moving around with them, and I was like, wow, I'm actually feeling pretty good. So I called Ray, and I was like, Ray, you want to try hitting some pads? He goes, oh, get down here, come on, let's go. So we hit pads, and I felt good. And it was maybe a couple weeks later so I started getting into training, slow, not crazy, and then they announced that MSG was happening, and I was thinking about it in the back of my head, and I saw Bobby Green fight, and we were supposed to fight in 2015, and that fight never ended up happening. So in my head, I was like, oh, Bobby Green, he didn't win the fight, but I honestly thought he won the fight. It was a great fight. He came on strong at the end. And then the next day, my manager texted me that UFC just offered you Bobby Green at MSG. And I was like, I'm perfect. I'm in. So it all kind of just like came together at the right time. It was, it was like, that's how it came together, and it worked out really good.
Was there any moments of doubt? Like, did you need to come back and fight again, or if it didn't work out and that was the end, would you have been satisfied with what you did, or do you feel like there's still unfinished business when it comes to what you want to accomplish in the sport?
It would have been whatever it was. I don't think, the whole time I wanted to come back, but if I couldn't, I was going to, do whatever I was doing. But the reason I was pushing myself through physical therapy is, first I just wanted to feel good as a human being walking around living life. But then, I just wanted to, this is who I am. I'm a fighter at heart, so.
And last thing, you mentioned you were supposed to fight Bobby years ago, so I'm sure you kind of know about his style and what he does in there. He's a guy who, whether it's a win or a loss, it's usually a really close fight, and he feels he's wronged on decisions or things like that. So what do you feel you have to do to go in there and beat him definitively? Obviously, a knockout or a submission would be great, but to kind of create that separation in the fight where it's not extremely close when the 3 rounds are over, if it goes that far.
Yeah, I think that's like Bobby Green's thing. He kind of keeps it close, but doesn't. It's almost he's got a really unique style, and he's been fighting often. I'm going in there to fight. I'm not going in there to do anything else. Have a good show or whatever. I'm going in there to fight and win. So I think that's going to be the difference.
Oh, to your left over here. Does this kind of feel like a back against the wall situation for you going into this fight?
Not really. It kind of feels like a second chance. I feel like I'm not probably a lot of fighters probably wouldn't made it here, being through like the injuries and stuff. So I'm gonna go out there and just I really don't care. It's gonna be fun either way. It's Madison Square Garden. It's this is I don't know if this is like. It's cool that this is happening, so I'm embracing it all, and it's going to be fun.
Are you hoping to be a little bit more active, going forward now that everything's all good?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely. This is where I want to be.
Best of luck, man.
Since your last fight, there's been kind of a lot of influx in the lightweight division. So what do you make of the state of the 155-pound division with all the new additions and a lot of fighters have retired or changed weight classes?
Yeah, it's wild. It's an exciting division. The end of the year is going to be really exciting. You got the Gaethje Chandler on this card, Dustin Oliveira, good fight. Makachev Oliveira would be a good fight. You know, that's a good fight. Yeah, Dustin, Makachev, all these guys. You know, it's an exciting time at the end of the year. I think the next year is going to be big for this division. So
How do you see Poirier and Oliveira playing out next month?
I have no idea. I don't know. It's yeah, Oliveira. I feel like in the past maybe Oliveira would have. You know, he had his weakness was like in the I guess Aljo. It's my time, man. In the past, Oliveira would have like kind of like wilted a little bit, but no, I'm serious, guys. Who's talking over there? I can't think. I have trouble thinking in general. But I don't know. Oliveira was he's gotten better with that. He went through adversity in the last fight. So yeah.
Al, you're in the red. Tell us about the back and forth with Gaethje and why does he think that you need better than him?
We were supposed to fight. They offered me the fight, and they were paying. They weren't. I wasn't happy with what I was getting paid. Justin Gaethje's a tough guy. You're going to war with that guy. This was a while back. I was still on like my first contract or something. So I told them the number that I wanted to get paid to fight him. It wasn't unreasonable. It was very reasonable compared to what other people were getting paid in the division. And the UFC, he chose to fight James Vick instead. I had messaged him and said, "Don't fight anybody else. Fight me. Tell him you're only fighting me." And then he fought James Vick, so it worked out for him. But
Right, so you mentioned that he ended up fighting James Vick instead of you. Is it safe to say that a fight with Justin Gaethje is something that you're looking forward to down the line?
absolutely, I think that'd be a great fight. Funny thing is, he's managed. My manager is the same, is managing Michael Chandler, who he's fighting. So after tonight, if we fight again, it'll be maybe 0-2 against Dave Martin and Martin Advisory Group, the best management in the world.